Hey guys, how are you guys doing tonight? We got me, Ryan here, hashtag Canadian Preds fan, part of Hardcore Rain Show fans, and we got my buddy here, Robert.
Hello.
And this is his hashtag, hashtag we too. We're going to be going over some trade possibilities and maybe even go over the whole Buffalo offering $6 million for Mike Babcock. What do you think about that, Rob?
It's crazy. I guess they're that desperate and really want Babcock.
What do you think of them firing Ted Nolan, though? Good move or bad move, in your opinion?
I don't know about that one.
Honestly, I can't really blame the guy because if you think about it, he really had no really talent really in that team, really.
No depth, no defense. I mean, you had a hot rookie until he got injured, and then after that, just nothing.
Yeah. How do you think about do you think Jack Eichel will be a good fit for there in Buffalo?
Right now, I don't think so because I don't think they have any veteran presence to really help them develop or anything.
Man, it's kind of weird. It's like every team that Brian Gianta plays for, you get to see for some reason.
I mean, if you get them a few guys, yeah, maybe. And I think they have the cap space to do it.
Yeah.
They just gotta do it.
So, wasn't it like, do you think Toronto may try to make an offer if he turned it down to Buffalo?
I think so.
I honestly think if Toronto can somehow make a deal that's not worth passing up, I think Babcock could potentially sign with Toronto.
He could.
So, let's go on to trades now, shall we?
Definitely.
What do you think your Sharks need there?
We need a lot of help on defense and depth pretty much everywhere.
Who do you think's staying and who do you think's going?
Well, from our free agents, I honestly don't see Dylan coming back. I could be wrong in that one, but
you guys think it kind of screwed out that trade.
Oh yes, Demers in the third. Like, what were you thinking, Wilson?
See, that's the thing about Wilson I don't understand. Really, is it's like, does Wilson think he's coming out ahead with these trades he's making, or is he just trying to?
It's like he wants to destroy the team yet get full control of it. I don't get it. I really don't. And it doesn't help that we have a clueless owner who barely knows English. Yet he likes what Wilson is doing.
What, just giving up stuff away for nothing?
Yep.
That's gotta be painful though, ain't it?
Oh, it's very painful. And and if you look at the Sharks' Facebook and every post they come out with, you see so many comments saying fire Wilson, and they have so many likes on it, and yeah, that's not going to change.
Well, it's like if you think about it, if your fan base is fed up with your GM and you're the owner, wouldn't you be smart enough to
get rid of him?
Get rid of him and bring someone else in because you may lose fans over it.
Right.
Has happened before with some teams.
Yes. And then the whole situation with Joe Thornton. I mean, don't go blaming all your obvious problems on the former captain.
Exactly.
Like you're just gonna make the fans hate you even more, and obviously they're going to side with Joe Thornton. He loves it in San Jose. The fans love him too.
He's been there for at least over a decade now too, so
Yeah, I think it's actually been exactly a decade since we've gotten Thornton.
What do you think of Little Joe?
Little Joe, he along with Couture are the future of our team.
Yeah.
One of them's going to be captain. And I mean, he's catching up on age soon as well.
What do you think of Niemi? Is he staying or is he definitely gone?
I'd say he's definitely gone. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I love the guy. I was so happy when we got him to replace Nabokov.
Do you think there's a chance, just a chance, maybe he could get a 1 or 2 year re-sign deal, or is he just completely gone?
There's a small chance. I mean, we have two goalies in the AHL who aren't that bad. They just need a little more time. The thing is, though, I don't think he would want a 1 year deal. I think he'd want a bigger deal, and the Sharks aren't the type of team to give goaltenders big deals like that.
Yeah. I forget who your guys' backup is there.
Alex Stalock, and I hate him with a dying passion.
Oh, that's the reason I don't remember his name, because I don't really hear about him that much.
Some fans love him, other fans don't.
How's his stats?
Oh, man. He had one great year in the AHL, and I think he had one great game, I think, towards the end of the season or in the playoffs. And everybody thought he was like our next goaltender. No,
so pretty much the same thing as Carter Hutton, pretty much.
Yep. And you look at the way he plays the position, it's terrible. Like, his positioning's off. He's, like, all over the place. In my opinion, he plays too far out of the net. I don't get why he's still in the NHL. I honestly think it's because our other two goalies aren't ready yet. I gotta love it when internet problems happen.
If there's five players you could think of, five goalies you could think of to bring to San Jose, that's reasonable. Who do you think it would be?
Let's see, 5. I definitely say try and trade for Lack. I know it's going to be hard to do, but I'd say go for it. If Ottawa does get rid of Hammond, maybe take a chance there. Try and trade for Talbot. We don't know if Toronto's going to get rid of Reimer or Bernier, but maybe one of those two. And then one more. Can't really think of anybody else.
Just some squirrel.
The guy from the Islanders. I forgot the name of their backup. Oh, Nervith, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
I'm bad with names, by the way, guys.
Me too. I can only name some Russian names. The rest of them are just like, how on earth do you even say them or spell them?
Like, I used to say Dustin Bufflin, and I thought Sagan was Seguin. Yeah, I was that bad.
What do you, are you guys going to do the whole move down routine again in the draft, or is it going to be different, hopefully?
We better not. I think now we know we have a good shot at a good player. Wilson's not going to be stupid. He wasn't stupid the last time we had the number 9 pick. That's when we got Logan Couture. So I'm quite confident. I just really hope we don't go for another center. If we do, it definitely means they're going to want to get rid of Joe Thornton.
Do you think that's what Do you think that's what they're wanting to do? Is get rid of Thornton or something?
I have a scary feeling that's the case. I know Wilson hates Thornton, but he'd be up against Thornton himself and all the fans backing him up. So that wouldn't really end well.
So pretty much if you trade him, Wilson would be fired pretty much.
I'd say so. Which then again isn't a bad thing, but it'd come at a really major, huge cost.
Well, he's been there for how long now?
Since 2003, I believe.
Like you know how Wu's been in New Jersey for God knows
How
long now.
Right.
It's like it's almost like you're thinking, well, if Ray Ferraro's coming in, does that mean Wu is going to be president, or is he going to be getting the axe?
I think they'll keep him in the organization. I don't think they're going to let him go, only because of everything he did for the team, how much time he's been there.
Yeah. But see, the one thing, I think the one problem there is Wu doesn't like spending money. But if you can see what Ray Ferraro did in Pittsburgh,
right?
And of course, you know that Wu's going to be trying. Probably chances are going to be almost being saying yay or nay on stuff. So maybe kind of hard for Ferraro there making moves.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely tough if two sides can't agree on something.
Yeah, who do you think will, what coach do you think will be going there to Jersey?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. It all depends, like, who Sharks pick up, who other teams pick up that need a coach.
True, I just, like me too, was Grin and Sens Nation. We all think soon as Babcock gets signed by a team, rest of the teams and coaches are just gonna go and snag up the next best thing.
Right. Well, at least we know McClellan's going to Edmonton.
Yeah.
Nemo might join him. You never know.
Yeah. What do you think of the whole Mike Richards thing? Do you think he'll get moved at the draft, or do you think he's most likely to get bought out?
I think he's going to be bought out. I don't think teams are going to really want to give up anything for Richards. I mean, if nothing happened during the free agent frenzy, I don't think anything's going to happen before the draft, unless the team is really that desperate for him.
Because I know from watching Hockey Central, like I think it was a week or two before the deadline, two teams had interest in him. That was Calgary Flames, and that was Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs were going to give the LA Kings David Clarkson for Mike Richards straight up.
Wow.
And what I thought was weird what I thought was kind of confusing in a way was the Kings wanted to get rid of his money, his contract, but they're going to be taking on another nasty, ugly contract like David Clarkson, which made no sense at all to me.
Yeah, and they don't have much cap space to work with this offseason.
Yeah.
They only have about $9 million.
The other trade that they're going to make with the Leafs was going to be Mike Richards to Toronto for Dion Phaneuf.
I remember hearing that one. I was like, how the heck is that even possible?
Exactly. And honestly, from what I heard was the deal could have went through, but the Kings wanted one bit more from Mike Richards. And
you want more than Phaneuf for Richards? Are you crazy?
That's what they want. That's what was said on Hockey Central about the Kings.
What, do they want like a high draft pick or something?
I don't know. All they said was they wanted Dion Phaneuf and they wanted someone else. They didn't say if it was a player or a prospect.
That's...
Oh, same thing, but
right.
which Ben only. But the one thing I felt bad for Mike because you can't trade because no one will take him, but they set him down to send for waivers.
Yep.
And thought someone would pick him up, but no one picked him up.
Nope. And he was in the
that's
AHL
probably
for a while.
painful because you get into Manchester and you have to walk on the ice with your head held high and still go on the ice.
Yeah, that must have been rough.
Which it's what you also got to think too, though, is Daryl Sutter pretty much wanted him to play 4 or 5 minutes this year.
Right.
And he's making, I think he has 5 years left of his contract, and he's making $6.5 million. He's making first line money, but he's playing 4 or 5 minutes.
That makes no sense.
And it's like, if a team could, if he can go to a team, any team that needs a forward like him, who can play 50 good games and get more time in the playoffs, I can see it happening. But I just don't know any team in the league right now that can afford his contract.
No, because his contract expires in 5 years.
Yeah, I think it does.
I think 2020. So that's definitely going to be tough to move.
Because you also got to think, they got some guys re-signed too.
Yep, like Justin Williams is a free agent, Jarrett Stahl, Nick Shore, Toffoli, Andrhoff. Are they going to re-sign Sekera?
It's going to be rough for them.
Yep.
What do you see in Leafs' future going now?
Leafs' future? Oh gosh. Still a big mess.
I doubt we see Kadari back there in Leafs Nation.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Obviously, one of the 2 goalies. Thing is, though, Reimer has a year left on his contract, and Bernier's a restricted free agent.
Of course, you got. Oh, I think another problem there too is they traded David Clarkson to Columbus, and they got Nathan Horton.
Right.
Only problem, I understand why Columbus made that trade. They can't. They're not a team where they can have a player like that sit out with that much money on his contract. So you get rid of a player like that, and you bring in a player. Well, it's not better of the contract, but at least he can play. And the only problem with Toronto is you got a player like that now with that much money who may never play again.
Right.
Which, I don't know.
It's like hard to really see where they begin there in Toronto.
Well, I know from the interviews I watched with Brent Shanahan talking to the media was he's pretty much wanting to get rid of Joffrey Woolpool, Tyler Bozak, Phil Kessel, and Dion Phaneuf. He's wanting to trade them, and the way he's talking is he doesn't want to have Reimer and Bernier again for starting a backup goalie.
Right.
Do you think anyone will make a move at all or try to for any of his players?
Maybe Kessel. It's like they've always been saying. It's because of that big contract
Yeah.
that's making him so hard to move. I don't know who's gonna want Kadri.
Maybe a rebuild team or something.
Possibly. I could see Lupul and Bozak being moved though. I mean, they have another 3 years left on their deal, but it's a little more easier to get rid of than Kessel's big contract.
Yeah. What do you think of that rumor of possibly Kessel going to Montreal?
That would be crazy.
Because what would they have to give up to get Kessel? Without pissing off any Habs fans.
Oh man, you gotta give him a big name player. I don't know, maybe Gallagher. I don't know.
Like honestly, I think if Kessel would hit more and be more aggressive instead of sitting on a board waiting for the puck to come to him and all of that. I think he could. I think a team would take him.
I think so. It's gonna be one that has a lot of cap space though.
Well, Buffalo has a lot of cap space there.
That they do.
And it's not like they're like it's not like they're having to get rid of money, they're needing to bring in money.
Right.
Which like you said, they hardly have any veteran players that help out someone like Eichel. Maybe they can bring in a Kessel or Dion Phaneuf in there to help them out.
Yeah, I think Buffalo though would probably be the team though that he goes to.
Yeah.
I just don't see any other team really I don't see any other team having the space to really get him.
What's your thoughts on this year's first round draft?
First round draft?
Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy one.
That's sure.
Expecting a few trades, maybe a few surprise picks.
Do you see any big blockbuster moves happening at all?
Maybe a few.
Who do you which player do you think will most likely be moved at the deadline? But the one about the draft, sorry.
To be honest, I'm scared to say it. I think one of our big name guys.
Think Thornton?
I think Thornton. I have a scary feeling. It's been bugging me ever since the whole issue with him and Wilson. And I mean, I don't mean to scare any other Sharks fans out there, but at this point, it's almost like the inevitable.
It's like it's going to happen no matter what, pretty much.
Yep.
Honestly, here in Nashville, not to piss off any Preds fans or anything, but I think the cap really depends on our roster for this off season, because we all know that Gary Bettman did say the cap was supposed to go up to 71 mil to 73 mil. I guess he said that last year, and it stayed the same.
Right.
And the rumor, what I've been hearing, was that the four players that David Poyle's working on contract-wise with is Mike Ribeiro, Mike Fisher, Colin Wilson, and Craig Smith.
So you think one of those guys might be moved by the before the draft?
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I honestly don't really see. It's hard to say without pissing anybody off, but
right.
I just don't see us keeping Wilson and Smith together and trying to keep Mike Fisher and Riggs. I don't see us trying. I don't see how a small market team like us could afford all four of those players that deserve a nice pay raise.
It's like the issue the Capitals are having. You know, they're gonna want to bring back Holtby, and they're smart franchise Kuznetsov, but they're probably gonna lose Green. They're probably gonna lose Gleason. They might even lose Joel Ward.
Yeah, because you also got to think about it. If you look at David Poyle's past of trades, he has moved 5 first-round picks for nothing. I am not joking when I say this. Let's see here. Let's go back to 2006. We traded, I forget who it was. I think it was Chris Beach and a first-round pick to Washington for some player. I forget who it was. And the draft comes along. And guess who Washington Capitals draft? Starting goalie now for Colorado.
Varlamov?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we trade a first round pick to Buffalo for Paul Gostad.
Oof.
That was 2012.
Damn.
Okay, honestly, someone please tell me, how in the hell does that make sense, giving up a first round pick for Paul Gostad?
Tell me, how does this guy still have a job?
Then we re-sign him the year after to a 5-year deal, a 5-year extension for almost three mil.
Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, I'll go back even further. I'll go back further in the franchise history.
Oh boy.
We drafted Scott Hartnell 2000, our sixth overall pick. We traded him and Kimmo Timian in 2007 to Philadelphia Flyers. We didn't get jack shit back for both of those guys. We traded Peter Forsberg for nothing.
Oh, that must have hurt.
We traded Paul Kariya. Paul Kariya, of all players, for nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here I'm thinking Wilson's such a terrible GM.
Yeah. And people want to bring up, he traded Erat to Washington Capitals for Forsberg. Okay, so please tell me how one player like Forsberg makes up for 4 first-round picks and Korea, Scott Hartnell, and Kimmo Timian in the past. And everyone talks about how good he is. Okay, let's go to next year. Let's go to last year we traded Dave Legmon to Red Wings for Yarn Crook and Patrick Eves. Good trade.
Not too bad.
Some would say. Then we come to this year, which it really surprised me in a way. I was kind of happy that we got James Neal, but honestly, we lost that trade. we lost that trade 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
No. If you Patrick Hornquist, the stuff he can do when he gets in front of the net, deflecting pucks and all that, it's just amazing what he can do. Then you give up a player like Nick Spaulding who can is aggressive and what pissed me off the most is we get in the playoffs. Where in the hell was James Neal?
Right, he was very quiet.
Honestly, I thought everyone here in Nashville kept saying James Neal was going to help us in the playoffs.
I thought so too.
Which I had my doubts at first, but seeing he did all right on the first and second line this year. But then you gotta remember the penalties he takes, and it's just honestly, of course, it's just painful for all these stupid moves that Foley's made for our team, and you gotta think. And what's really funny is last year when Barry Trotz did not get re-signed, I kid you not, almost every fan was twittering and posting comments saying fire David Foley. But soon as we got Peter Laviolette, and I said 2 weeks before the deadline, we needed to make a trade at the deadline because we're going to need more. We're going to need more than Franson and Santorelli going ahead into the playoffs.
Yep.
And I kept saying that, and Preds fans kept saying that there was nothing out there. What I say to that is bullshit. Bullshit. Money talks.
Yep.
Money talks. You put a deal out there that no team could pass it up. That's not too much. That's not too much, and it's not too little. A deal would have got done.
Definitely, I agree with that 100%.
And you got to think about it. Mike Fisher was injured 2 months before the off season. Well, yeah, he was out. He's out for 2 months for a regular season. He comes back and scores 19 goals.
It's crazy.
With the 2 months he misses. And like I kept saying, we need a top line center. I kept saying it all this year. We need a top line center because chances are, yeah, Mike Ribeiro may resign, but who's going to replace him if he decides to retire after that 1 year next season?
True.
And what happens if Mike Fisher? Because Mike Fisher has been kicking around for the past couple years now about retiring. What happens if he retires? Okay, so we got Cal Yarncrook and you got Paul Gostad. You got Craig Smith and Colin Lucien goalies. And of course we got Austin Watson down in the AHL. I think this is his 3rd year in the AHL. He got his 50 career point. And his name's been brought up in a couple trades the past couple years. And what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid when it comes to this draft deadline that we will end up trading a guy like him or some more prospects for players we don't need. That's how this team's been run. And I'm sorry if Preds fans want to get all bitchy and pissy about this and say you don't know enough about the team. And here's the funny thing about it: Preds fans actually believe that David Polio had David Poyle was the one reason why his team did not move.
Really?
Yes. Please explain to me how a GM / president can stop the deal of a team moving.
That's all in the owner, I think.
That's all in the ownership's. That's the only thing David Poyle has to worry about is payrolls, who's getting traded, who's getting signed, and who's going to be the coach, and who's being caught up, who's being sent down.
Right.
He has nothing to do with, I'll sign off that week and keep the team here. No. If you people actually believe that he's the one that does that, no, just shut up.
Yep, read a few books, take a history lesson, and then come back.
Yeah. It's just people like that. You get pissed off. People say stupid crap, and you just start going off and all that.
Right.
But there's times when people say the most stupidest stuff that it sounds so retarded. Like they just go, huh?
Yep. Like you're scratching your head. Like, did he actually just say that?
Yeah, that's how it feels like sometimes. Because it's like people got pissed about Barry Trotz leaving. Then please tell me how come Lavi's system is mostly speed, on attack, and rush. And please explain to me how come our defensive core was second highest in the league this year.
Yeah, defense was amazing.
And Barry Trotz couldn't do that for the 16 years he was here. Like our special teams were so much better with Lavi than it was with Trotz. And what we did in the playoffs, that's just showing you what we're gonna be able to do in the future.
Yeah, they're gonna be a major threat.
Because if you go back and you see all of the playoff runs we've had with Trotz, we have never made a team switch your goalies out twice.
Yeah, the fact you did that to Chicago of all teams, just wow.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to say this, but Trotz, he's a good guy and all, a pretty good coach, but when it comes to those situations where it comes very important, like, seems like his systems start to break down.
Yeah, definitely that, and later in the series with New York.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is he doesn't like his offensive defensemen up there in a rush helping him out, or he doesn't like him on the point there all the time.
Right.
He likes him staying back at home, which to a point you can understand, but if you're gonna keep your defense back at home all the time, that's, to me, it's almost like a problem, especially facing a team like the Rangers, who are big, mean, and just want to punch you in the face. It's like, which I don't know. I just don't want to get. I just want people coming for my head and want my head on the stick. But it's just after watching Trotz here for the past 16 years, some of the stuff he did in the playoffs, it's just like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, screwed us over twice too. Stuff like that. It's just like you just start laughing about it, and it's like he's doing the same shit like he did here, and the same shit still ain't working. It just makes you laugh. You know what I mean?
So what do you think you guys need to draft this year?
Honestly, I'll go with a first. Try to get a future center. Well, Damn it. We're trying to get a center for the future. Like, we do have Austin Watson and Colton Sissons down there. But I think it would be good to get another center because we only have like 2 good centers down in Milwaukee. That's good for the future.
Some more depth on offense, you think?
Say it again, please.
So more more depth on offense. You think you need?
Yeah, because the way it sounds is the way that Matt Collin was talking was if he does decide to play next season, he wants to be closer to home, which means chances are he'll be signing with Minnesota Wild.
You know what's crazy that I saw on a website?
What's that?
I saw they said we're going to trade Joe Thornton to Minnesota for Niederreiter and I think a goalie or something.
Do you think that would happen, or do you think that's too far, or do you think that's too far off the table?
I had mixed feelings about it at first, but I'm like, honestly, knowing Wilson, he might do it. Like, I don't want to think it'll happen, but you just never know with our GM.
Seriously, too, would Minnesota take that deal?
I think they would.
Because the way it sounds is Nick Backstrom and Josh Harding will not be on the team next year. And I think Josh Harding's retiring, ain't he?
Yes. Unfortunately.
It's kind of sad to see a guy that young
go only because of injury like that.
Yeah. So
they're probably gonna they might need another backup to how about Dubnyk? That's another thing. Do they give Dubnyk a good deal?
Which I understand that there's some Wild fans out there that I know there's some Wild fans out there are still not 100% with Dubnyk yet.
Right.
Which is understandable.
Definitely need to get a solid backup for him though, in case he does end up not being too well.